Hello, good morning to everyone. So now we will discuss about the mechanical design of transmission line, and this is comes under the transmission and distribution of unit 3, and this specifically uh, prepared for the part-time BE students during the COVID lockdown period of April 2020. So myself Dr. D. Nelson Jaykumar. And now let me summarize the uh, content what we discussed before the lockdown and during the lockdown. Just we will make a short summary about the past things. Uh, Let us we will see the recap, and the recap unit 1, transmission line constants and calculations. Hope you have remember that we have derived the expression for line inductance, line capacitance, and that too for single phase lines and three phase lines. And in the three phase lines we have solved the L and C for symmetrical and unsymmetrical spacing. Hope you are familiar with L and C and also skin effect, all those things we have discussed in the unit 1. And also in the unit 2 we have discussed about the performance of lines, short transmission line performance and its calculations, medium transmission line performances and its calculations. And also we have discussed the long transmission line and performances, and that alone we have discussed during the lockdown period. And now we will move towards the unit 3, where we will get a small summary of unit 3. In this unit 3 specifically we are going to discuss about the mechanical design of transmission lines. Under this we are going to discuss about the three different topics. One is sag tension calculation, and another is corona formation and its effects, its advantages, disadvantages, how we can minimize the corona, all those things. And the last thing is vibration and vibration dampers. And in this video we are going to discuss about the sag tension calculations. Specifically, sag tension calculations is on the three levels. One is when the supports are on equal level, second is when the supports are at the unequal level, and third is by considering ice and wind effects, right? All those things we will see in the forthcoming slides. Now we will see the introduction part. As you are familiar that the transmission line conductors are supported by the transmission line towers. The line towers may be a steel poles, or it may be a reinforced concrete poles, or it may be a broad-based steel lattice structure towers. And the third one, lattice structure towers for a long span and also for greater than 33 kV. And when a perfectly flexible wire of uniform weight is hung between the two horizontal supports in this, like this picture, it will form a catenary. The catenary is the shape of the chain, and we call it with the name of catenary. You need an elaborate explanation, you just go through these two lines, what is meant by catenary, right? And this is self-explanatory line. Now, why we need to study about the sag? And to understand this question, you need to think about the two different scenarios. One thing is, if you want to reduce the sag to the minimum, what will happen? That means, if you want to reduce this catenary to the minimum, means the chain should be in a straight line. Like this, there should be a chain should be in the straight line form. If you maintain such a situation, you need to stretch the conductor too much, and you need to increase the tension between the posts, and that also becomes too high. And now by these two things you can achieve some material requirement in the form of conductor length. And these are the three consequences out of when you want to reduce the sag completely to the minimum extent. In another scenario, If you don't want to reduce the sag, whatever may be the hanging, I don't bother about it. And in such a case, what will happen? The conductor touches the vehicle. This is an idea to understand the transmission line. Now you imagine this is the original transmission line. Under this transmission line, vehicles are moving. The conductor touches the vehicle if you are not reducing the sag. Suppose to counteract that you are increasing the pole means you need an extra pole height. Both are unwanted things. Now, in between these two scenarios, you need to compromise, and so that you need to calculate a proper sag so that the safe tension and safety aspects will be fulfilled. By calculating the sag, we are achieving the safe tension as well as the safety aspects. That means avoiding the touching of conductors to the vehicle or trees or things, right? Now, one more thing here you need to understand is when the temperature increases, surrounding temperature increases, conductor length increases. When conductor length increases, the tension decreases. The vice versa, when tension decreases, your sag increases. Now these two are controversial. Now you need to find out a compromise between these two things. And now this form of chart will be called it with the name of stringing chart. And this chart is specific for one particular location for a fixed span. This is very important for a fixed span. What does mean by fixed span? Span is nothing but the distance between the two consecutive poles. So here you can see this is the pole 1 and pole 2. In between, the distance between the poles or distance between the supporting points where the conductor starts, where the conductor ends. That will be considered as span. Now you will see what is meant by sag. Sag is nothing but தமிழ்ல தொய்வு. இந்த தொய்வை கால்குலேட் பண்றது தான் நம்மளோட வேலை இருக்கு. Sag in overhead lines, the difference in level between the points of support. Points of support இது ஒரு points of support, இது ஒரு point of support. இந்த point of support ஓட level இந்த level. Difference in level between the point of support and the lowest point on the conductor. With reference to the earth, which is the lowest point on the conductor, is called sag. Now the difference between these two levels will be considered as sag. Now here in this picture you need to understand what is meant by sag and what is meant by span. And this is another picture to understand the span and sag. And here, simple thing, an overhead line must be designed from the viewpoint of first probable loads rather than first possible loads. First possible na எங்கேயாவது நடக்கக்கூடியது, நடக்காமலும் போகலாம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ப்ராபபிள்னா ஒரு இயர் பீரியட் எடுத்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா கண்டிப்பாக ஒரு ஸ்னோஃபால் இருக்கும், அப்போ அதை நம்ம கன்சிடர் பண்ணணும். ஒரு விண்டு ஃப்ளோ இருக்கும், அதை நம்ம கன்சிடர் பண்ணணும். அந்த ப்ராபபிலிட்டி இருக்கிறது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ப்ராபபிள், அதுக்கு தான் டிசைன் பண்ணணும் இல்லையா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாசிபிளுக்கு டிசைன் பண்ணக்கூடாது. பிகாஸ் த காஸ்ட் ஆஃப் தி ஓவர்ஹெட் லைன்ஸ் வில் பிகம் வெரி லார்ஜ். நீங்கள் மதுரையில் டிரான்ஸ்மிஷன் லைன் டிசைன் பண்ணுறீங்க, why you need to bother about the ice forming on the conductor? Ice forming மதுரையில் நடக்குமா? நடக்காது. ஸோ அப்போ இங்கே விண்டை மட்டும் கன்சிடர் பண்ணால் போதும். பட் வேற காஷ்மீரில் டிசைன் பண்ணும்போது யூ நீட் டு கன்சிடர் தி ஐஸ் ஃபார்மிங். ஸோ அதை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு this is the first thing. And second, the sag to be allowed in the conductor at the time of erection. எரெக்ஷன் பண்ணும்போது ஒரு sag டிசைன் பண்ணுறீங்க, அது வந்து still air and relatively higher temperature must be such that in bad weather conditions, which are a combination of wind and lower temperatures. Lower temperatures is snow and ice coating. A specified maximum tension for the conductor is not exceeded. Design பண்ணும்போது இந்த கண்டிஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணி you need to decide a maximum tension, and based on that you need to decide a sag. Right? By considering all those scenarios, everything is summarized here. You just go through these few lines. And now the various constraints we need to consider here is when temperature increases, the same conductor enlarges. That means the sag is nothing but on this top level to the minimum point level. That sag increases, and when ice falling occurs, ice forming around the conductor, and the weight of the conductor increases, and once again the sag increases. Sag is the level between this height and this one. This sag increases. And the another scenario is uh, when you design a transmission line for a hilly area, one post will be on the lower level, the other post will be on the higher level of altitude. So now this difference will make two different sag. That is, on the lower end there will be some sag value, on the higher end there will be some sag value that we need to consider. Similarly, on a cold day and with respect to this hot day, the transmission line where sag varies because of the wind falls. So when wind speed becomes high, this conductor moves towards this direction. That means the clearance will increase. That means your sag will decrease, and that also you need to consider. And here we will, as I discussed in the few slides before, hereafter we are going to derive the expressions for the calculation of sag in the three different scenarios. First scenario is when supports are at equal levels. As I said, the second is when supports are at unequal levels, and third is by considering wind and ice forming. Right? So now we will start with when the supports are at equal levels. So before all the three cases, there is a standard practice. We need to keep conductor tension less than 50% of its ultimate tensile strength. Ultimate tensile strength என்ன? இந்த கண்டக்டரை ஸ்ட்ரெச் பண்ணும்போது ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் tensile strength தாண்டினா the conductor will break down. That stress is nothing but ultimate stress. And the ultimate stress 50% கீழே தான் உங்க ஒர்க்கிங் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ஸை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணணும். அப்போ ஃபேக்டர் ஆஃப் சேஃப்டி பிகம்ஸ் 2. இப்போ ஒர்க்கிங் இது வந்து 100னா இது 50 இருந்ததுன்னா your factor of safety becomes 2. So that's why your factor of safety for the transmission line should be greater than 2. The tensile strength less than 50%. Right? Now